That scares me. And then you look at the initiation potential from Beast Coast, it's incredibly strong, but that's where they're going to win or lose this game, right? The silence overlapping with the lasso to ensure there can be no Omni Knight Grace to cleanse it off. Anything goes. Coddle mid isn't a thing in this game.
Yeah,
so Beast Coast feels a bit better.
You don't need the same level of catch to get a Coddle this game, right? But you know, I was thinking the same thing. Shadow Demon obviously makes great illusions out of Terrorblade. We can talk a little bit more about this in just a second. It's Cocoon Company looking for Whisper. All right, Disruption to start things out. We can see the Coddle Blast on the sideline. Burrow Strike is there, but Stormbolt connects onto 2 with the Aether Remnant, keeping Whisper in place. And that's going to be First Blood, the way of T1. But not only that, but you know, the disruption to save for Bat Rider Lassos potentially if you get like an Aether Lens. And Zephyr has been known to get pretty farmed on his supports. And this is very late game stuff, I know, but Shard with like Ags and like all this stuff, like dispelling the global silence constantly.
Yeah, the mid matchup is the one to watch though, because if you recall, 9 on Bat Rider against Chris Luck on Void Spirit killed him not once but twice.
Yeah.
Now he's playing the Bat this time against the Void Spirit. You got to assume he learned a bit from that matchup. So look to Carl to outperform here, because realistically, it's that fast bots timing from Bat Rider that really causes problems with T1's lineup. So if Void Spirit can keep the pace, be at his equal in terms of rotating around the map, looking to make things happen, I think it'll be a tough game for Beast Coast. Their tower damage is limited to just their Terrorblade, so look for bigger rotations.
Oh, let's see a Burrow Strike into, nope, no Eliminate connecting this time on 23 Savage. Yeah, like the mid matchup like you're talking about, just absolute, like, it's a melee versus Bat Rider. I don't know if there's a melee that can even survive. I guess like Life Stealer can, any Dispel is essentially what you need. Carl should get.
I think Void Spirit can do okay. I mean, you have 15 base damage on him, and you're really, it's just so nice to be able to spam spells, right? Like Void Spirit, you don't have any mana issues. Napalm's, he had just used Stick during this wave. He's now already got 6 charges. You just have to, you know, not die.
Easier said than done sometimes. Correct. But, I mean, once he gets level 6, it'll be pretty hard to kill him anyway. K1 on the Terrorblade. Are you a fan of this hero in this patch? He wasn't really nerfed that much. His agility gain was lowered a bit, which that's probably the most significant one among some smaller. I was expecting a bigger nerf as a whole, but perhaps like everything as, you know, sometimes these patches are a little bit deceiving where other things are getting nerfed and buffed, and it actually just makes Terrorblade more an even hero than it was in the last patch.
It's just like still one of the hardest carries in Dota, right? Farm everything. The concept that makes Coddle mid really good is actually the same with TB, in the sense that you can shove lanes without giving vision of your hero, right? You just send an illusion. And that's a really strong mechanic nowadays, because these creeps and the waves pushing, you know, again, the game is way more about macro. So if I can shove side lanes easily and get my carry more from nice Grace timing, that's actually going to lead to a kill.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Stormbolt and Purification.
That was like nearly frame perfect.
I thought he missed the stun.
No.
No, I know, but after replaying it in my mind, I'm like, oh, Heavenly Grace, added again. I mean, these heroes that have the hard Dispel, very strong, just for that reason alone.
Oh.
Okay,
oh, no.
Coddle Courier.
Boots.
Will live. And Whisper's back into the lane. I mean, how is this a good Sand King game, you think? Could you have picked any, like, what were they looking for here? Just like the initiation, the team fight, as we see the, let's look at this frame perfect Heavenly Grace. In midair. It's actually pretty good. Actually cost him his life as well.
Yeah. Sand King, I think right now is just, some games, it's just like the do-it-all offlaner, right? If you remember, you know, people, it was like Axe or Centaur you would just pick. I think SK is nice, especially with a hero like Kyle, because you're just applying pressure, but, you know, oh my god, like, you can see the pressure as we speak.
Why is Axe not picked? I know that they got rid of the shard aspect, as we're seeing another Illuminate! That is gonna be a kill! So a little bit too cocky from 23 Savage, but, yeah.
I mean, the nerfs to Axe, I think, hurt, but it also feels like the Vanguard offlane style just isn't as effective this patch.
I see. We have 2 stacks of Shadow Poison here. This shouldn't be enough, as K1 will live.
Oh, the creeps.
Yeah, the creeps.
Careful.
Good thing he has very high armor. Oh, but the Shadow Poison! That might be the first time I've seen a 1-stack Shadow Poison get a kill this early.
It's kind of funny how both teams are, in a way, utilizing like the same type of 4 position, right? Just spam damage into the carry.
I mean, that's 2 embarrassing deaths, I would say, on the position 1s from each side. So it's kind of even in that regard.
Gotta bring more regen, you know? I get forced to play 5 all the time, and my carry player, it's like anytime they take a bunch of damage, they're like, where's your salve? It's like, bro, I already used 2 on you. What am I supposed to do? In this case, both supports could have probably done a little bit better in terms of funneling regen.
All right, the big replay here. Look at the shadow poison. Boom! Right at the tail end. What a shot. No okay, there was a reaction. It's a little bit late.
Oops. I mean, that's what, you know, feast or famine.
Oh my god, Carl's getting dove here. Then tier 2. Chris Luck will likely fall. The tower's going to do a lot of damage, but he gets the XP. Zephyr, though.
You know, K1 and Savage, like, yeah, those are silly deaths. You'll get a little flame for it. But that's what makes you a S-tier carry, right? Is that you're pushing your limits and you're living on the edge.
Yeah.
Sometimes you look dumb. You make like we saw Savage die yesterday against Alliance, like on Dusa, just bluffing bottom, like pushing alone into a tier 2. But that's what gives you that 100% efficiency. You got to take the risks.
Oh, we see the Stormbolt here. Illuminate's only going to connect on creeps, but Schofield will be more than happy with that, as we see another Burrow Strike with the Caustic Finale being coupled there.
Such a crazy lane.
Absolutely. Some action bot lane now. Zephyr's going to be fine, just going to walk off that Arcane. He's actually a higher level than Cuckoo, just because of the XP he got mid. And we'll see if he can snowball this in a way.
Holy, he's level 5?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I wonder how much XP he actually got for that mid, because he died to the tower, but he was in vicinity. That, for a position 4, that's definitely nice. But like we were talking about, this is a hero like Shadow Demon. If you're able to get some farm on him, he can help a lot in a game like this, where his spells are super high value.
Hold that, hit him.
You know, somehow hit him. Chris Luck is going to get the last,
no.
Attempting to go to the cliff, but Heavenly Grace again.
Oh no, that was just the status resist. He didn't expect it.
Yeah, that's
didn't have nearly enough travel duration.
And they're going to get the kill onto Zephyr, but it's going to be a trade for Stinger, which at that rate, beastcoast will be happy with. That's a high-level Shadow Demon.
Yeah. But I am probably a bit concerned right now. I mean, this is a Doom who's now level 6. And if you look at Hector, he's like, am I okay here? Like, is this safe? And it's tough to play this lane. You don't really want to rotate to jungle. And yeah, here comes Carl.
Here we go. Scorched Earth. They're attempting to dive Stinger in the vicinity. Carl is here as well, though. They're going to use the 8th Remnant to clean up Stinger pretty easily. So no TP available for him. Cuckoo's going to have to walk off this Arcane Curse.
That'll be just fine.
Still has his wand charges to go. And K1 into the jungle he goes for now.
So likely. Nice job.
This is where Shadow Demon really gets high value. Taking other people's camps. Oh my god. If he had done it a little sooner, he would have gotten full XP as well. Would have been level 6. But Zephyr helping out his comrades again, this time onto Whisper. There's the Sentry and...
Love that. Both supports have a Sentry. That's preparation.
Yep. Very true. And Zephyr has Arcane Boots. And level 6. So Demonic Purge, I assume he's going to level it. Might be holding the point. Yeah, there we go. Look at this. Look at this replay. Look at this XP. Sadly for him, it was shared.
It's such a satisfying animation when you proc the poison.
Yeah.
It's like a Darth Vader force choke, you know? Like,
that is true. It's this exact same animation. Yeah. Carl, level 7 now on this Void Spirit. And what kind of build are you hoping to see on him this game? Looks like Yules is going to be the first, which
I like Yules. I think he could have gotten away with rushing Aghanims, but against Bat, against Silencer, it's just nice to have the on-demand self-purge.
Whitemon able to get a ward there.
Yeah.
But
even though we got that kill, you know, Chris Luck, it's an even matchup mid, but I do feel like they needed more out of this on the side of Beast Coast. Keep in mind, Cuckoo is naturally going to rise in the ranks in terms of his GPM, just nature of Doom. He's also going for the Midas as expected. And yes, Terrorblade is arguably like a harder carry than Sven, but the problem is, like, you can just get doomed, and there's an SD who will take you.
Okay, one disruption. with the Shadow Poison, and he's going to die to his own illusions, essentially.
Yep.
My goodness.
You can't really play Dota
it.
as TB when you fall behind like this, Suns fan.
Yeah.
Into SD Void Spirit, at least.
I mean, what is the thought process? Because, again, we both had the same thought where you're picking, like Shadow Demon was a couple picks before that.
Yeah,
so
it was open to
it. So they had some, like, they just weren't worried about it, I guess. Or was there just no carry that would have fit their lineup, perhaps? Pick pull, by the way.
I believe PL was banned. And they're looking for something that can go toe-to-toe. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would not really want to play many carries at all into these matchups. T1 has a very nice and balanced draft. But yeah, I see Shadow Demon and I disqualify Luna and TB as like possible picks.
Yeah, especially Luna. Luna is crazy because Shadow Demon ends up getting so much farm actually because of those illusions.
Well, it also, like, the Purge functions through BKB, right? So you don't even have...
Yeah. Oh,
nice
Cuckoo. Yeah, gets off the stomp. Crystalluck attempting to catch up there. Flame Break is there into the lasso. Looks like that's going to be the death of Cuckoo. But we have the Carl mid coming to play as well. So it's going to be a 1-for-1. They're going to try to clean up a little bit more. Crystalluck attempting to TP out will be successful. So beastcoast gets the better of that exchange.
3. I love that. He's going Dragonlance and Yasha, so he just goes 3 bans.
Okay, sure. Why not? I mean, it's better than back in the day where we had 3 full bracers or 4 bracers in some cases. Just all these small little items you can't actually upgrade and they're just stuck in your inventory, but it's still worth getting. Oh, do you remember the days when you used to buy recipes on, like, Earthshaker, for example? This happened in a pro match where we'd buy a recipe, like a cheap one, because he would die so often and lose his gold. You just amalgamate enough of those recipes to sell them at once to buy a Blink Dagger. That was a thing it was in Dota2, I think, actually.
Uh-huh.
That was not fun.
I don't remember that.
Not a fun mechanic.
May have been before my time.
Crystalluck, you're probably still playing Han at that point, actually. Dominating the Han scene at that time is Cuckoo. Epicenter's there.
Good save.
Yeah, Heavenly Grace is probably going to be enough. They don't really have much catch since Whisper pretty much popped everything. Does have his Blink Dagger, though.
There we go. Whitemon has learned, like, look at that. Clarity, a salve, helping hand. Schofield's in some trouble.
Yeah, Shadow Poison is not going to hit there. Zephyr can continue on, though. 1 clip.
Oh, ooh.
Coddle is fast, so
Very
he's
fast.
the one hero that can dodge these. Yeah, he should be okay.
Yeah. What a hero. Now he's just going to sit bottom. You know, he's basically doing the job of a Wyvern, right? So what's really interesting about this Coddle pick, you're talking about, like, why is it played in which role? Mid, it's like a replacement to all these bots heroes. And as a support, you effectively become a Winter Wyvern.
Uh-oh, that's the pick pull. Cuckoo is not going to be enough, though. He has the Burrow Strike from Whisper.
No, the Midas.
The -2 from Sting.
He didn't get a chance.
Yeah, Midas efficiency out the window now. He's going to be behind from here on out. I mean, what do you think of the timing, though? 12-minute Midas. We've seen faster. Could have been worse, though.
Yeah, it's not fantastic, and it does mean that T1's like, it's a very greedy lineup. We can be honest about it. It's a Sven and a Doom Midas. They're going to need a lot of time, and this is when Beast Coast's lineup is going to start to thrive. You have the Blink on your Sand King. You've got bots on your bat. Looks like he'll have Blink soon, especially after he finishes off stealing these stacks. So it's concerning, because if you're T1, you really don't want to be fighting right now, and you're reliant on counter initiation. You've got 2 defensive supports and a limited ability to hunt enemies. It's just Carl and the Void Spirit who can really make plays. And that's a tough spot to be in. Beast Coast, they're going to look to get aggro here. Expect to see smokes come out.
And Zephyr, Shadow Demon working on the Aether Lens, no big surprise. That'll give him a lot more capability to actually save people with the How does that work with Lasso? It still drags them, but if you use it on the ally, right? But they don't take damage, obviously. I think it still drags, like, the disruption thing, I want to say.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to see. It's been a while since I've seen that as a pseudo counter. There's better counters than against Whisper. Rocking out that Epicenter with that lasso combination. Burrow Strike, nice layering, and that is going to be a very easy kill onto Carl. 1K network lead now for Beast Coast.
It's the playmaking potential. It's a big edge now, and Terrorblade to provide the tower damage. And yep, there's this one. Get a kill, immediately go for more. You don't need lasso. You've got another Blink stun and silence ready to cover it.
Zephyr on the other side of the trees might get caught out here. Whisper, yep, his smoke pops. He knows somebody's there. Burrow Strike, Flame Break. Self-disruptions. 23 Savage is in the vicinity, but doesn't really want to commit, looks like. Okay, I take that back. Global Silence is there, though. Stinger, he'll take a couple right clicks, but just walk it off. Savage ends up popping that God Strength, wants to take out Whisper. Looks like he'll do so pretty easily. And now Crystalk is next on the menu, but he's taking a lot of damage from these illusions. There's the Guardian Angel. As Whitemon's finally joined this fight, K1 gets used up. No Aether Remnant available, but there's the Doom. The first one of the game, I do believe, but the Stormbolt does not connect onto the Terrorblade. They'll have to take out Schofield instead. As Terrorblade continuing to just get away. Aether Remnant. Oh my god, all right, that was definitely enough damage. Double kill for Carl. So after a pretty decent start for Beast Coast, they lose 4.
Flame break damage. What in the hell? Again, dies with Midas off cooldown. Poor Cuckoo, but you take that fight if you're T1. You lost your tower, but really surprised Beast Coast committed for more there. You take those kills, and I think you're chill. They got the objective, and they play into the Doom. Really nice by Schofield, throwing his life away to ensure the stun didn't latch to his TB, but not enough as Carl, Void Spirit power, you're chasing a Doom target, pretty much always going to catch it.
And Sven goes into the jungle, so his farm's going to get amplified big time. I mean, Batrider, though. That is he's second in net worth, so Crystalk having a very good game. So has the blink for himself, so that's double blink on the side of Beast Coast. What are you hoping to find on him now? We've seen BKB, obviously, but this game against the Doom kind of weird as
Whitemon,
initiation. Cuckoo gets disrupted by his teammate. Here comes the epicenter. Yep, he's going to get it off in time, and Whitemon's going to drop as a result. So that's a double kill for Beast Coast. Zephyr with that Dust of Appearance. Whisper gets off one more Burrow Strike, falls shortly after.
This is a very weird play there by T1. Like, they're backing up their Doom, but you just, you got to be played a little more tight in that spot. And really, like, maybe the flaw with the T1 lineup in a sense that their 3, 4, and 5 don't really shove waves. Yes, Shadow Demon can, but he's also then trying to play behind his core so that Cuckoo can take the net worth. Obviously a lot easier for this hero to push lanes.
Yeah, that's true. He has to be there to save, and Omni Knight doesn't really do anything with waves.
Living things die.
As we have a pause now. So 2K net worth lead for Beast Coast.
How
would
ominous.
you still want to be in their shoes at this point, even with the Terrorblade against SD?
I think Beast Coast, they have the, what's the word? We've been talking about card games recently. What's it called? Like the initiative?
Thank you.
They have the initiative.
The artifact initiative, yes.
Exactly. So, in a sense, if they play all the right moves, they're in control of the game. You initiate, you have silence. Right now, T1, they don't have any tools to remove it from their heroes. So, theoretically, if you initiate properly, you have some kind of vision advantage. You can't really lose a fight, right? What?
He is pig pull again.
Oh my god.
This is a pig pull highlight. Sorry, I was listening, but the pig pull is very
No. Let's focus on the important aspects of the game.
Oh, God.
Priority.
Good. Sorry, what were you saying, Kyle?
It's not important now.
Okay.
Just like Artifact.
That's a very sad one. Too soon. Schofield blown up.
Too soon?
It's always too soon if it's Artifact. There's a kill onto the cutout. I mean, we obviously have not seen the same kind of impact from Keeper of the Light, but we are comparing a position 2 to a position 4.
That's true.
I mean, would this have been a game that mid Coddle would have worked? Is it just like one of those things that you're just not, comfortable playing at mid? Certain teams, certain players?
I think it's just you're playing against a Sven, and maybe you feel more comfortable. It really is a player comfort thing. Like when Quincy Crew picks this up, it's almost always MSS that's going to be playing it for similar reasons.
Oh, Chris, like
good initiation.
In here, yep. Stormbolt's there. Global Silence to follow. Carl in the thick of things. 23 Savage still has that God Strength up. Whitemon not able to get his Guardian Angel out. Just gets blown up in the meantime. And the Firefly into the trees. He believe he's pig pulled as well. Sven disrupted. Going to keep him alive a little bit longer. Stormbolt's going to finish off Stinger. But shortly after, Sven does take a tumble. So a nice rotation from Beast Coast. Not only defending this tower, but getting a very important kill onto 23 Savage.
You can also see why Sven is balanced, because when you try to fight into choke points and trees, he actually got blocked by the illusion rune of the Batrider and suddenly couldn't do anything. He's just stuck. Bat flies away, spams napalm, he ends up getting caught out.
Also spammed pig pull while flame broken, 10% movement speed. You know, I've been told that you can use this. I think we're going to see a replay of the pig. 4 seconds, Kyle. Are you ready for this? Monster use of pig pull incoming. And there it is. How can you catch him? Have you tried to catch a pig with your bare hands? Very difficult.
You know, that is actually like a sport
Trying to catch.
in certain rural regions of America. Is how fast can you catch a greased pig?
That sounds real rural to me.
It's literally a thing.
That I think I may have seen some clips. Yeah, they're all greased up and yeah. Haven't they heard of basketball? There's other actual sports out there. I bet a lot of people are probably saying that about esports though, so I can't really say anything. But they're wrong.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, right? I mean,
it's true. As long as it's not hurting anybody. Well, the pigs. Carl, gonna get the Aether Remnant off. Should be good to go. Chris Luck still very huge in terms of net worth. About 800 lead between the mids though.
Yeah. You know what I've always thought there'd be a market for is like some version of like summer camp games, but for adults. You know, like imagine.
That's what
I would watch EG not play Dota, but compete in like the 3-legged race.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's true. All right, we're gonna see the Burrow Strike. Epicenter actually, global silence to follow. Epicenter finally goes off, but he's next to an entire creep wave, so not a whole lot of damage done. Oh, we're seeing Will-O-Wisp for the first time this game, so a lot of farm coming the way of the Coddle. Whitemon disrupted, already got the Guardian Angel off. As everybody's trying to maneuver their way around the Ignis Fatuus. Chris Luck getting bursted down by both Savage and Carl. Now Stinger looks to be next on the list, basically out of mana right now. Oh, gets the Glimmer Cape off, juking around the trees. They destroy most of the trees. There's the dust, and Stinger will be swiftly brought down.
Well done. I mean, you can see the power of the silence. Oh, wait, Schofield?
It's not done, apparently. 23 Savage finds Schofield in the trees, blinding light.
Oh, not this again.
Yeah, Zephyr, he does have...
Oh, no.
He doesn't have a pig pull. There's no way he's getting out of this, but there are a bunch of trees to maneuver around.
Oh, no.
But finds his way to 23 Savage.
So what was that Dota custom game in Warcraft 3? It was like vampires, I think?
Sounds familiar.
Where you'd like build these structures and like you'd have to... I don't remember, but anyway, that would happen. You'd find yourself in a choke point, be like, ah, and then they'd get you.
And those were the days. Those were truly the days. As Cuckoo now starting to make his upward trajectory in the
Speaking of custom games, write to your representative about fixing custom games.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. They know about it. I can tell you for a fact they know about it for years now. Bat Rider getting initiated on by Carl with Zephyr on the sideline, gets off the Demonic Purge, and that's going to be a big kill going the way of T1. But the pig pole... Wait, okay. Demonic Purge kills him.
Well, that's weird. That isn't that isn't purged.
Yeah, I mean, hexes aren't purgeable, right?
But it's a defensive hex.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under
I mean, would you want it to be purged?
I don't know.
By the enemy?
Actually. I guess if you're willing to turn yourself into a pig, like perhaps we'll leave you like that. Like
it's considered a debuff on yourself, right? So you're only taking off positive buffs from them as the enemy.
Well,
it's probably the way it's coded.
Either way, it's still a tight game. T1 have the kill advantage, but
Yeah, Aether Remnant with the Astral Step, but there's the Will-O-Wisp. Epicenter Burrow Strike combination, and it looks like Whitemon gets deleted right off the bat, which means T1 need to get the hell out of dodge. No Guardian Angel to work with. And they're actually going to find the mid as well. Got the Dissimulate, Astral Step. Carl gets out just in time. So all they lose is the support Omni.
I can't believe he escaped, but... Anyway, T1, they have the kill lead, slight gold advantage, but Beast Coast keeping up because they just push lanes and farm so much more efficiently. TB, yep, there's the timing. Even skipping the Sange just to get the Scotty up faster. It's so key here, but also means that you have stronger illusions to deal with.
Yep, that's going to mitigate some of the purification heal. Obviously, that's not the biggest reason you get it in this game, but... is there a better stat item than Scotty? It's very, very good.
Very good hero. I like the Aether Lens on Bat. You were wondering, like, what do you pick up here? You don't necessarily need BKB as much because you have the silence to cover you, but the range will be important because you're playing into this double save. So, BKB now on Cuckoo. Do they have one on Savage yet? Yes, they do.
Essentially, we've been seeing a lot of these fights, and you see Zephyr Gets lasso, but there's the Stone Bolt. Keep him in place, and Chris Luck is just done.
Look at his team. Where is he?
Yeah, that was a miscommunication for sure. Big time tips coming through as well. Stinger getting chased by Carl in the trees. And 23 Savage. Oh, all right. I guess Carl just wants it for himself.
Beast Coast, they remind me of, what was it, old school Immortals, you know, the QO squad, where they have this, like, incredible, like, team play, but every once in a while, like, they're too aggressive, it feels like. That was just not necessary. He's diving, like, tier 2 tower. They don't have global.
Yeah.
Like, there's no scenario, unless T1 are just asleep at the wheel, that's going to work out for Beast Coast. And in addition, you saw the BKB. You know that T1 is going to be looking to take an engagement at some point. Very odd.
Oh my, 23 Savage. Gotch really hates those illusions.
It's for the tier 1.
Going for the tier 1.
That's what it'll tell you.
I mean, you can tell the difference in the illusions, right? It's not a Manta, so... Unless he's colorblind or something. 23 Savage into the pit. Potentially we go with that God Strength still good to go. 500 gold, really, from illusions. That's actually more than I thought it would be. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's not like Nature's Prophet Treants, which you can't buy anything with. Oh, Whisper, Epicenter, incoming with the Will-O-Wisp. He's canceling the animation over and over, but there comes the global size. Oh, he instantly gets destroyed by 23 Savage. Absolute beauty on the BKB timing. And they're going to find Schofield as well. That's going to be a buyback onto the Coddle, though. Zephyr will take a tumble, so it's a 2-for-1. And Chris Luck on the high ground. 23 Savage has to try to TP out. Looks like he'll be successful, though. And into the pit, potentially Beast Coast will go. Carl, still in the vicinity, though. Has the Yules. Aether Remnant to follow. And will Astral step to safety.
They've got to defend this pit, though.
Can they? I don't think so. I think this is just Beast Coast now.
And it's unfortunate. Cuckoo just kind of forced out of the fight. Did not get a chance to use his Doom. Surprised that T1 made that decision. Had they just backed out of the pit and maybe looked to fight, they had vision and they had those SD illusions running up high ground, but they ended up getting caught. Yeah, you kill Whisper, but was not able to secure a Doom onto the TB, and that is the key if you're trying to take him down.
And I kind of just walked in, and Sven's ult was already half duration, and Beast Coast knew that they were there.
It's one of those scenarios, like, it feels bad, and there's a lot of, like, you know, the Team Secret, I think, probably the best at this, but
yeah, we see the lasso, and will end up being an easy kill for K1.
There's sometimes you just have to accept, like, we didn't get as much EV as we wanted out of our Sven ult, but let's not force it because it makes our play even, like, less EV. Like, take the tiny win instead of feeling like it's not enough.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of, like, what's the word for it? Over aggressiveness, I guess. Just like a little win and you're not happy with it. You get hungry for more. You're starving.
Yes. The hedonic treadmill.
You have to have discipline. Discipline is the hardest thing to master in Dota, I think.
Indeed.
Carl, level 18 now, is working towards the Aghanim Scepter for himself, so that'll give him the double resonant pulse with the silence.
Yep. You can always get more or want less. Desire is just a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you acquire what it is you're looking for. And in this case, both teams, they want to win.
Very badly.
Beast Coast.
Maybe two, but you can want to win too much. And it's a negative. We see a smoke here from T1. Carl's already used both Astral Steps, just wants to find this Bat Rider. He'll do so, but the Global Silence with the Will-O-Wisp from the side, but Savage coming in. The Doom applied as well. They're putting everything on this Chris Luck. And he will go down.
Oh, wait, K1? Okay. No BKB.
Center, Burrow Strike. Oh, but there's the Heavenly Grace. Beautifully timed again. The K1's going to get turned on potentially. 23 Savage trying to TP out. He'll be successful. The Burrow Strike is a little bit too late. So away he goes. And this is exactly what we were talking about. T1 is very happy with that one kill. And if they can get out, they'll be satisfied. Cuckoo might have to sacrifice himself, though.
Again, Midas off cooldown. Not like this.
But again, T1, that's 2 for 2. You have a buyback from the Bat Rider. You forced it out. But there is still an Aegis for 2.5 minutes. So
yeah, I mean, this game right now for T1 has been saved because Savage has 2 teleports away. Like, if he's died those extra times, the gold lead is not in their possession, and you're terrified of the Terrorblade.
Oh, this would be a huge kill. Astral Step, Stormbolt. He's dead again. Dieback, 100 seconds with no Chris Luck.
All right, that should be enough time to grab a coffee because Chris Luck, my man, you are... that is, I'd say, big mistake number 3 in this game. And Oof, that hurts. That hurts.
This is the Aegis, if they're able to get it. Scofield's still in the vicinity. Will-O-Wisp is always on, or always off cooldown, so just assume it's always up. Obviously, Aegis still in tow, so
Yeah.
Roshan won't be a thing.
You can kind of see like the difference in drafts playing out. So, like we said, Beast Coast, they have the initiative, right? And they've utilized it, and they're winning fights pretty consistently. But T1, like, they're taking everything Beast Coast gives them. You make a mistake against us, we will abuse it. And
okay. K1 actually uses a BKB. That's a little bit surprising considering the Aegis is almost out here. Another minute or so, but he gets a Sunder onto Carl, which means Carl needs to get the hell out of here. But like you said, Batrider's still on the sideline. Savage is ready to go. Blinks in with the God Strength. Now, that's going to be a long chase. They're just kiting the crap out of him now, but they are able to get Schofield, so T1
Stinger
looking very good here. Takes out Akari with that cleave.
Stinger,
and Stinger will be the sacrifice as well, so they get something out of it, does T1. And
but
23 Savage close to that DPS of Daedalus.
But these are all just, I don't want to take anything away from T1, right? Like, they're punishing. But these are just mistakes from Beast Coast. Your Batrider's dead. You know he has no buyback. T1 knows he has no buyback. Like, what are you posturing for? Why are you even considering taking a team fight? You didn't have meta. Like, there's no scenario where this is going to end well for you.
Yeah, we have Aghanim Scepter actually on Sven here. As we have the Burrow Strike Epicenter again into the lasso. Looks like this is going to be the death of 23 Savage potentially, but he does get off a Stormbolt onto the high ground. He goes K1 able to get the Sunder off successfully, back to full HP, and Carl just cleaning up the back line. Whitemon finally takes a tumble, but that is to the K1 right click. 5 stacks of Shadow Poison, no Sunder up for another 30 seconds. As the chase is on, Beast Coast want to continue. Remember, Batrider is up. His long slumber in that death timer.
You can see like the difference in discipline with these teams, right?
Oh, yeah.
How many times now? T1, they push their limits, but they don't go too far, right? You overextend that one time into the meta, and you're going to lose 3, you lose 4, but they're bleeding a support here and there. That's all. Yeah, Cuckoo's annoyed. He's died with Midas off cooldown, but 23 Savage has been protected, and yeah, the Aghanims, to your point, after the nerf, we don't see it as much, but I actually love it here because he's going to have difficulties getting kited. This removes like the coddle factor, the TB Scotty. Now you just get up close and personal. Like, kudos to the bravery Beast Coast. It's 3-on-5 and they still take this fight. But now you've used every major cooldown.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to sacrifice. Like, that's a lot of cooldowns down. You have Heavenly Grace being up. I mean, I have to say, Whitemon has played, even though it's an Omni Knight, he's dying a lot, his Heavenly Graces have been on point this game for sure. As you see, Carl just barely get away here, but I mean, T1 have the advantage in terms of the net worth, and this is after giving up the first Roche, mind you. I feel like this game would have been way different if they didn't. And Schofield deleted. And Roche should be up relatively soon.
Carl also excellent usage of the all-Chad voice lines. I think still an underrated talent. I don't really believe you can be an S-tier mid player unless you are high enough level on your repertoire to have good lines to spam.
I'd be interested to see like the stats behind that. Mm-hmm. Sure, it's there. As BKB now picked up onto Bat.
And while I liked the Aether Lens initially, I do feel like Chris Luck perhaps has been playing as if he had a BKB, so it's good to know that he has one now to play with.
Right. Cuckoo gets Burrow Struck, but there's the Heavenly Grace again. And so he...
Aghanims on Sand King.
23 Savage was going for a Daedalus initially and then pivoted to the Ags like we talked about.
Yeah.
Is actually going for Bloodthorn now instead of going for Daedalus. What are your thoughts on that? It's not an item you see very often.
So I was talking the other day about how the lack of tools to deal with evasion was annoying, but I meant from like a support perspective. This is like how cores do it. Mm-hmm. I really like it on Sven because it means you never have any kind of mana issues, but it's really nice. This sort of removes Terrorblade's ability to butterfly you, but more importantly, the talent. Like, that's the most annoying thing about Terrorblade. Level 10, you get 16% evasion.
Yeah.
Like, that's so annoying. And now, post BKB, you're going to have the ability to go toe-to-toe and prevent Sunder.
Oh, there's the Global Silence with the lasso into the Epicenter Burrow Strike. Is this going to be enough to take out 23 Savage? He gets a Stormbolt off onto the high ground with the BKB activated. There's the Guardian Angel. He somehow lives throughout all of that. They used everything, and now T1 just resetting a bit here. Another nice Burrow Strike. That's the Aghanim Scepter, but already 2 dead for Beast Coast. And now
Savage
the
is
Doom
gonna come
applied
back.
to the Terra Blade.
He's TPing in.
And he is just going to get dropped like a rock. Double kill for Carl. Just amazing counter initiation from T1. I cannot believe 23 Savage lived.
Me neither.
Jeez.
They did literally everything. You know, there was the lasso and the silence over top to cover it. We discussed that. But the Aghanims actually really heads up play. I want to see that again because he goes to the high ground.
Yeah. You can see Whitemon trying to get the Guardian or the Heavenly Grace. And then he's like, please, just let me Heavenly Grace you, please.
Yeah. GA from the low
Worked
ground,
out,
but that was sick. And then, you know, Cuckoo does his job. He's like, that's the Terra Blade, right? Yep. And once you doom him, your only option to stand and fight, and you can already see the SD illusions, they're the reason. Like, you don't need your Sven. You have the enemy carry playing for you.
Right. Yeah, Doom always one of those kind of wild card factors in games where if you're going against a one lineup DPSer like the Terra Blade is, I mean, Batrider's the mid, so that's not like a hard carry by any means. Doom definitely very good in that scenario. It's another beautiful Heavenly Grace taking off the last. So we're just seeing Chris Luck, like, despite having all this farm, is again, Schofield takes a tumble. Just so many counters. But it's like, to this
there's no Terra Blade.
That's true. Why are they there?
What are you doing?
Yeah. Giving T1 a couple more kills, it seems. Looks like Carl has a shard for himself, so the extra range.
It's good timing. He's spitting distance of level 25, which is when Void Spirit goes from good hero to absolutely broken.
The stun is absurd.
Yeah, I mean, 14% spell amp is good enough, considering, you know, you get the second charge in your Aghanims, or on your pulse from your Aghanims, plus the talent for damage. But yeah, Dissimulate stun is just, it's like game ending. It's so good.
For sure. Yeah, it's got to be one of the best 25 talents in the game, no doubt.
It is. I don't think there is a better one. When you think about, you know, MVP is supposed to be like, bad analogy. What's better? Like, what could possibly improve a skill more than giving it a stun? It didn't. You are increasing the stun duration of Dissimulate by an undefined number.
Oh, this is actually in contention, technically. Last word muting as a 25 talent.
I mean,
like, in theory, but Void Spirit's going to get 25 way more often than Silencers because we don't see core Silencers.
That is pretty good. That is in contention.
So it depends on what your criteria is.
Yeah.
Like, are you comparing them like just 1-to-1 without context or with context?
That's
right?
a good point. Well, it's easier for Void Spirit to get it right because you're a core.
For sure.
But yeah, that is pretty good. I've never seen that used in a game. I've never seen a Silencer get 25.
It's only been out a week. Right? But yeah, Void Spirit's very good. I think they had to buff the other one.
Yeah. It is cool. Like, it's an interesting concept, this idea that, like, level 25 talents are things to play for.
Yeah.
If you remember, like, before all the changes to how, like, Cataclysm functioned with Invoker, like, I remember Miracle saying, like, on Invoker, I play for 25.
Oh, Cuckoo jumps in with the BKB. They were trying to go for Roche, but they're just going to blow up the Coddle instead. The Global Silence to follow, but Whisper in the vicinity has the Epicenter ready to go. K1's already popped his BKB. Whitemon, look at this stun, the Dissimulate. Carl is just wreaking so much havoc, and there's the Stoneboat with that ult from 23 Savage trying to go with the Doom on top of poor K1. Nothing you can do about that. 3 for 1, make it 4, triple kill for Carl. Into the Roche pit they go. Second Roche, that means Shard. We got a lot of good contenders for that since the cores already have them. And now Chris Luck might be next on the list. Although nobody's... Okay, Zephyr has made it here. Gets the disruption off with the Soul Catcher. You can see the rest of the team is still going for Roche, so they feel pretty confident that they can find this kill anyway. Oh, Lasso. 4 stacks already used from Zephyr. Chris Luck does end up falling in the end. So Aegis for 23 Savage. Wonder who took the Shard, because Sven already had it. Oh, he has it in his inventory. Okay, so we talked about Shadow Demons is, in theory, pretty good. Omni Knights is absolute garbage. We'll just ignore that.
Yep.
And Dooms is probably the best one left, right? Infernal Blade one's real good.
Yeah, I might.
He has
he has it already. So,
okay.
There you go.
1 out of 2 here. So, I'm going to say it's Shadow Demons better than Omni Knight.
Yes, definitely.
Omni Knights is really weird. It's like a 4-second duration, 10-second cooldown.
It's like a gift, you know, like it was some beta tester's birthday. He's like, guys, I love playing Carry Omni Knight. Can we do something about that? And they're like, sure.
But they made it worse for Carry Omni Knight, though. They made it like damage mitigation or something rather, right?
Yeah, it's
so
really
it
weird.
reduces
It's
damage
really
by
weird.
60%, which, like, in theory, it's good, but a lot of these just don't end up
But
in
it's like
execution being very good.
Yeah, like the thing is, I'm picking it to be Carry Omni, right? Like, but or am I a support? Like, what am I supposed to blink onto Terrorblade and be like, ha,
Yeah,
I've reduced your damage?
Yeah. I don't know.
Either way,
It's a weird
26k gold lead. T1 very much in control of this game. Like the itemization, I think, from Savage has been sick. Like the Aghanim's definitely paying dividends. Now a Flicker, that's the dream.
Not quite as good as before, of course. If you get hit, you can't blink away. Essentially, it's just blink in place. But the Dispel is god tier for against Silence. Silencer just gets so screwed on some of these neutral items.
This game, to me, is all about Shadow Demon against Terrorblade, which has just been super effective, but really the performance of Carl in this series in comparison to Chris Luck, you know, it just feels like there was a tier difference. And I don't know if that's the case, right? Like, these are two incredibly high-skilled players, but Carl's certainly outperforming today, and that is the real difference maker.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
When you consider, again, Tundra, when they ran this bad against Void Spirit, like, 9 just straight up took over the game. And that's what you have to do to win games. He's on the high ground, isn't he?
Aether Remnant as well, and that is going to be an easy start to the fight for T1. And K1 attempting to get out, pops that BKB. Now we'll try to man mode against 23 Savage, which is going to try to reset. There's the Global Silence. You can see the lasso on the side as well. They're actually doing a lot of damage, but that is just the Aegis. Guardian Angel already expended for Whitemon. And now Sven, now that he's back, he does not have God Strength, so using that Stormbolt to try to position himself to the other side of the fight, but Chris Luck dies again in the midst of things. Buys back into the game. We have Doom applied to the Terrorblade. Can they actually finish him off, though? Dissimulate to follow Cuckoo, attempting to continue this chase here. There's a Centaur with 23 Savage and that Stormbolt.
Doom's
so
fading.
close to the fountain. He actually just stands still, but there's the big Sunder right after the Doom wears off, and 23 Savage looks like he's going to go down, but it will be another trade. Terrorblade falls. Did have buyback for a moment, but must have bought something because he doesn't now. Interesting. Either way, T1 having to buy back on a couple of their heroes as well. Chris Luck, this is going to be a dieback if he's able to get taken out by both Whitemon and Carl. But I think they bit up a little bit too much here. Dissimulate to the other side. Zephyr still in the midst of things. And Carl still has the Astral Step, so should be okay. Actually, just turning this around. A little bit of miscommunication there. Not the greatest of layering. Schofield using the Ignis Fatus for cover, but he's taking 4 Shadow Poison stacks here. And Zephyr, now he's surrounded by Chris Luck. Looks like he's just going to get burned to the ground. So, Beast Coast technically hold. Cost a lot.
A lot. And Carl.
Carl is still here. There's a BKB, yeah.
He'll go back in. Yeah, you got to get the hell out of there. I love the Dagon build. Like,
oh, he's not stopping. Oh, can't find the angle for the stun, but it's the silence with the Simulate there. And Astral Step, Dagon. Another. All right, that's actually. Oh, he missed it.
Oh, no.
He missed it. There's the lasso. Oh, no. Carl, a little bit too cocky there. He just had to click.
And then Zephyr hits him with the well played. Oh, no.
We're going to need a replay of that one.
Carl,
sure.
you should have stayed in the house, Carl.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold going the way of Chris Luck, no doubt. I mean, it's still a 21K net worth lead for T1, but Chris Luck will take it. All right, let's look at this this Dissimulate here. There it is, and this is with a stun. He's perfect positioning, just a little bit too early. I thought he actually clicked the wrong one. It was just too early. Poor Carl.
Poor Carl.
Other than that, though, close to flawless game.
Because he has Timeless Relic, right? So the increased debuff duration. That doesn't work with Yules, does it?
It
yeah.
should.
Okay, so he just messed up.
Yeah, he just messed up.
Okay, I was trying to make an excuse.
Yeah, Yules
Sorry,
is one
Carl.
of those things that just, it's always fixed. After the time where it was very OP. As K1 and the rest of Beast Coast trying to take advantage of these timers here. 30 seconds left.
They'd still,
Carl.
they have a Terrorblade. End of the day, you make a couple big mistakes, on buybacks or something, like he'll shred your base.
Yep, 16K net worth now for T1. As you can see, it's dwindling just a bit as a result of this one mistake. It's a little bit too cocky. Still, only 15 seconds left on the death timer. 23 Savage able to take out a ward here. Pick out some creeps as well. There's the initiation on his Zephyr. They really want this Shadow Demon. Don't believe he has a buyback either because he used it in the last fight.
Well, they got the Doom.
Down he goes. But yeah, the Doom on top of the TB, but they can't find anything more. They can't actually finish him off. 23 Savage looking for him, but it looks like it's not going to happen here. Gets up the Stormbolt. All right, that was the Lincoln Supplies. A missed Burrow Strike from Whisper. In the meantime, Chris Luck dying on the sideline as Carl has come back to play. Not going to bother to assimilate this time.
Ooh.
No timing issues.
It's another reason the Bloodthorn's actually pretty sick in this game is that it gives you the Lincoln's cancel. And Sven has no other ability to grab an active item to cancel.
All right.
So you saw there, like, he Bloodthorn into the stun and just Whisper was there. But either way, just nice hold. You really just can't fight T1 as 5 right now. It's very difficult unless you get catch. They did get Zephyr right off the start of the bat. He had BKB, but one of the downsides as well of the Bat plus Sand King combo, right? The early to mid game, incredible initiation. You always have the initiative. You're finding kills, but they just don't scale that well.
Yeah.
And it's Terrorblade that's designed to now deal all your damage, and he's getting doomed every fight.
Exactly. A one-man army, essentially. Oh, Carl jumps into the base. There's so much mobility with this shard. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
Now, 23 Savage gets that God Strength off, and their target is Coddle with the Dagon. Carl takes him out. Burrow Strike, though, from Whisper. Immediate Heavenly Grace again from Whitemon. My goodness. You can get replays of this guy over and over and over. But there, the initiation onto K1. He still has a Sunder, but there's the silence to follow. Stormbolt as well. That's going to be a huge kill. No buyback, and that should do it. T1 just on a different level these two games over Beast Coast.
Shout out to Cuckoo and Ice Frog and neutral items. He's got the Psychic Push equipped from the headband, and he's canceling the Lincolns himself.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good, clean stuff for T1. They're just going to go for the ancient, the old-fashioned way. 23 Savage, you can hear the epicenter being winded up. Not going for it. Yeah, they're just going to call it GG. So T1 end up picking out Beast Coast 2-0 in this lower bracket. That means T1 will be facing PSG LGD, which should be a